For most of history, being left-handed was treated like a crime. In some places, it was. Witchcraft trials, forced correction, even divorce, all because of which hand you used to write. Until the 1960s, a man in Japan could legally divorce his wife for being left-handed. And that's not even the weirdest part. Left-handedness has been treated as a sin, a sickness, even a sign of witchcraft. For centuries, people weren't just misunderstood, they were punished for using the wrong hand. But this isn't just ancient history. The same century that gave us moon landings and colour TV still thought left-handed people needed to be fixed. It starts, like so many bad ideas, with Latin. The word sinistra simply meant left, but it didn't stay innocent for long. Over time, it picked up some baggage. Unlucky, crooked, evil. And Latin, as usual, set the tone for the next 2,000 years. In French, gauche means left, but it also means awkward and clumsy. In English, left comes from the Old English lift, meaning weak. Spanish and Italian kept it blunt. Sinistra still means both left and sinister. Religion only made things worse. In Christianity, the right hand of God represents power, virtue, and salvation. The left, judgment, rejection, separation from the divine. In Islam, the right hand is used for clean acts like eating or greeting. The left, that's the one used in the bathroom, and still is in many places. In Hindu, Buddhist, and Roman cultures, the theme repeats. The left was unclean, unlucky, unwanted. So by the time we hit medieval Europe, the groundwork is laid. Being left-handed isn't just unusual, it's suspicious, even dangerous. Left-handed people were accused of witchcraft, of being in league with the devil. And if you were poor, disliked, or just unlucky, you might end up tied to a stake, explaining your handiness to a very unfriendly audience. Fast forward a few centuries, and things did not get better. You'd think modernization and enlightenment would bring tolerance. Instead, it just gave the biased sharper tools. In the 19th century, pseudoscientists and phrenologists, those people who thought they could read your soul by fondling your skull bumps, decided that left-handedness led to criminality, insanity, and degeneracy. It wasn't superstition anymore, now it was science. Left-handers were seen as defective, a mistake that needed correcting. And schools across Europe, the US, Japan, and the Soviet Union were more than happy to help. Kids caught writing with their left hand were punished. Rulers to the knuckles, hands tied behind their backs, forced to relearn everything with the correct hand. And these so-called corrections weren't just occasional, they were standard, well into the 20th century. In Japan, a man could legally divorce his wife just for being left-handed. Not in the feudal era, but up until the 1960s. The design of everyday life didn't help either. School desks, scissors, kitchen utensils, even industrial machinery were all built with right-handers in mind. For lefties, it wasn't just annoying, it was dangerous. Mishandling right-handed power and table saws could, and often did, lead to serious injuries. And if you thought left-handed products were easy to find, think again. In 1969, Time magazine noted that asking for a left-handed can opener could still get you a Dark Ages-styled sneer. It wasn't until entrepreneurs like William Grabby in London opened specialty shops for left-handed goods that manufacturers started paying attention. And even then, it was mainly because they smelt an untapped market. So when did things finally start to change? Well, it wasn't a revolution, more like a slow, awkward shuffle, starting quietly in the mid-20th century. After World War II, attitudes towards psychology and education began to shift. Studies showed that left-handedness wasn't linked to crime, madness, or communism. It was just a quirk of brain wiring, nothing more. In fact, a lot of left-handers were inconveniently brilliant. Leonardo da Vinci, Joan of Arc, Isaac Newton, Marie Curie, they were all lefties, and all terrible at following the correct script. Psychologists realised that forcing children to switch hands wasn't harmless. It led to stuttering, dyslexia, anxiety, and other learning difficulties. Meanwhile, politics was having a left-handed moment on its own. Garfield, Truman, Ford, Reagan, Bush Sr., Clinton, and Obama, it's hard to call something wrong when it keeps showing up in the Oval Office. By the 1970s, the numbers told the story. Left-handed Americans jumped from just 2% in the 30s to over 10%. Specialty shops popped up, schools finally stopped enforcing hand switching, even standardized tests started slowly accommodating left-handed writing. And today, sure, left-handed scissors still cost extra, and spiral notebooks are still an ergonomic nightmare, but no one's burning anyone at the stake over it. The story of left-handedness isn't just a historical oddity, it's a reminder of how societies define normal, and how easily normal becomes law, tradition, and unexamined cruelty. Today, lefties navigate a world designed for the 90% majority, but they also remind us, sometimes being on the margins isn't a curse, it's a survival strategy. Or as Leonardo da Vinci might say, if you're going to be labelled different anyway, you might as well change the world while you're at it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.